Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy alongside Sergio. Sergio, welcome.
Hey Tim, hey everybody.
Yes, for our new viewers, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to smash the like button. As you know, we are giving out betting tips for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, Premier League, and the Eredivisie. And I must say, we started the season very hot, and we will be looking to keeping that up for the rest of the season, of course, and looking to improve every weekend. And we are giving out best bets also every weekend, and those have also been very good. So we're both on a quite of a good streak, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
All right. Like I said, we'll be looking to keeping that up, and also, of course, improvement always. All right. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Today we are starting with the Premier League. First game on the schedule, West Ham hosting Chelsea. West Ham wins set at 3.6. Chelsea wins set at 2.04. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Chelsea, bit of team that's very difficult to trust at the moment. Last week, of course, they went on the road. They got a win against Bournemouth. But listen, man, Bournemouth's not very good. Not very good at all. Bournemouth has one win. They came back and won against Everton, who's dead last in the league. 0 points at the moment. West Ham did not get the win last week. They were on the road against Fulham, but I think they've been playing very well overall since the start of the season. And West Ham at home, they give Chelsea trouble more often than not. So I really like West Ham in this game. Usually when the odds are this high, I go for the double chance. But listen, man, today I'm just gonna pick outright West Ham win. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I am. I think I agree with you. I watched the game last weekend, Bournemouth, Chelsea, and Chelsea had a lot of trouble. They won with, of course, one goal. But yeah, no, it wasn't good at all. So
No.
West Ham, like you said, is yeah, a team that has more experienced players. So I would go for West Ham also. I
Yeah.
think this London derby will be for West Ham.
Yes, and Chelsea back-to-back road games, which is never good. I also think West Ham right now has the better coach, right? We agree on that.
Yeah, yes, we can
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So listen, man, West Ham is definitely the play here. You might want to play it safe, take a double chance. You still almost get an odd of almost 2 to 1. It's set at 1.82, but so man, I'm just playing outright West Ham win. Um, this, I can't pass this one up, right? We can't pass this one up.
No, of course not. And maybe even yeah, uh,
Sprinkle something on West Ham win and
more
both
than
teams to
West Ham
score.
win maybe, but I don't think but maybe Chelsea will score even. That's why the over 3.5 is a little bit too much. So I think it will be 2 goals scored and 2-0 win.
All right. All right. I'm just thinking West Ham for a win. You are also, and that's our bet for this game. We agree on that. All right, let's get to the next game. Fulham hosting Newcastle United. Fulham win set at 2.95. Newcastle win set at 2.6. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, I like the over 2.5 goals in this game, but I also really like Fulham. Fulham's playing at home. Newcastle United undefeated, but listen, man, they kind of been escaping with wins. Not really that impressive playing. So I'm really leaning towards Fulham in this spot. I think the over 2.5 is the safer play, so I'm probably playing that one. But this man might also sprinkle something on Fulham at home. I think they will give Newcastle some trouble here. And Newcastle United over the last couple of years, not a great road team. So Fulham should be the play here. What are you doing?
Yeah, maybe not a great road team, but they seem to be in form, I think. And it's yeah, it's for Fulham, yeah, they not so much, 2 draws and a loss, of course.
Yeah, they lost in the EFL Cup
Yeah,
against Preston.
yes, so
Not great.
I'm still leaning towards Newcastle actually to win this one. Yeah, I'm still leaning toward Newcastle.
Yeah, and Fulham played a midweek game. Newcastle, of course, did not. So that's a bit of a concern for me, which is why I'm not just betting outright Fulham to win this game. I think I'm playing the over 2.5 in this game to have over 2.5 goals. That's the safer play. But man, I can't trust Newcastle in too many road games. Um, they've already won on the road last week, so can't see them winning back-to-back road games.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Next up, Tottenham hosting Brentford. Tottenham wins set at 1.58. Brentford 5.75. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, I don't know what's going on with Tottenham. I think they will win this game. They're playing at home. Under Postecoglou, they have been a very good home team. They should get a win here, going home. But this man, they had kind of had trouble with Coventry in the EFL Cup in midweek. So I don't know what's going on with Tottenham. What are you doing in this game?
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't. Yeah, they don't have the form yet that they had last season, and also yeah, over 3.5. It's also I think a bit too much for
Yeah, that's a bit too much.
interesting odd at 2.1. Yeah, but it's still too much. Tottenham win, but yeah, it will be it won't be an easy one.
Yeah, I also think Tottenham will win this game. All right. Next up, Leicester City hosting Everton. Leicester City wins set at 2.55. Everton wins set at 2.95. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now Everton, they just keep finding ways to blow leads. They blew a lead again in midweek in the EFL Cup against Southampton. And Southampton actually is one of the worst teams in the Premier League. But Everton might be the worst one in the Premier League. Of course, both teams are sitting on 0 points. So I really like Leicester City in this game, playing at home against a bad team. I think the crowd will be behind them and really motivate them to get the first win. So what are you doing here?
Yeah, interesting odds for Leicester City, like you said, is also one of the odds that I was looking at, or one of the games that I was looking at this weekend. I'm leaning towards Leicester, of course. Like you said, they're playing at home. Everton, very, I
Just dreadful.
first
Just
team
dreadful.
this season, I think, in the Premier League. So yeah, I would go for a Leicester win also.
Yeah, and Everton, of course, pretty bad defense. They've allowed 8 goals over the last 3 games. And if you look at the last 4 Premier League games, that's 12 goals allowed. So I think Leicester City will score at least twice here. So I'm also looking at over 1.5 goals for Leicester City. I think that's also a good bet. Everton, they just don't know how to defend. All right. Next up, Liverpool hosting Bournemouth. Liverpool wins set at 1.34. Bournemouth wins set at 9. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now Liverpool bounced back in midweek against AC Milan after suffering an embarrassing loss last weekend. So going home again, they should bounce back with a win, right?
Yeah, I think Bournemouth will pay a high price for for what happened last weekend. So yeah, it will. I think this one will be an easy one for Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree there. So I'm not playing the total goals. Maybe look to parlay Liverpool with another team, but other than that, not really doing anything in this game. All right, next up, Southampton hosting Ipswich. Southampton wins set at 2.4. Ipswich wins set at 3.2. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I don't have a play in this game. Two bad teams in the Premier League, so I'm not putting my money on either one of them. Are you doing something?
Also not over 2.5. I don't think so. So people who really want to take a risk maybe go for the draw, but I'm staying away.
Yeah, me also. All right, next up, Aston Villa hosting Wolves. Villa wins set at 1.6. Wolves wins set at 5.8. Line for total goals 2.5. Now Villa, great form. They should keep that up right here.
Yeah, Aston Villa is in really good form. So I think against Wolves, uh, um, as the odds show, the over 2.5. Yeah, a little bit too low. Aston Villa win 1.6. Yeah, you can try it, but I'm gonna skip this one also. It should be Aston Villa win.
Yeah, I would look to parlay Aston Villa with Liverpool. That gives you an odd of over 2 to 1, 2.14. So that's kind of a good odd. Just take those two teams. They should win. They're the better team. They have the better players. All right. Next up, Crystal Palace hosting Manchester United. Crystal Palace wins set at 2.9. United wins set at 2.45. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now United, I'm not sure if I can say they're in good form, but back-to-back wins. Scored 10 goals over the last 2 games. But this is classic Ten Hag, right? So they're gonna win a couple of games and then they're just gonna lay an egg again. And like I told you last week, they would win against Southampton. They did. They put
Yeah.
7 goals past Barnsley. So I think they will win this game again because Crystal Palace is not very good. And they will lay an egg maybe next week or in 2 weeks after that. But listen, man, I'm backing United to win this game. Actually hate it because I really don't trust United, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I don't trust them also. Last season they lost both games against Crystal Palace.
And they didn't score a goal.
Yeah,
They
they didn't
didn't
score
score a
goals.
goal. And that's one of the reasons why I will be backing them this weekend. Are they losing? Are they really losing Dries Straight to Crystal Palace?
That's that's oh yeah, that almost can happen. I hope, but I'm gonna back you on this one. I was also hesitating, but I think I'll also go for United in this one.
Yeah, okay, we agree on that one. Crystal Palace has not been great. They've won against QPR in the EFL Cup. Other than that, in the league, they haven't really shown me anything. Of course, and they lost against West Ham, a draw against Chelsea, a draw against Leicester City. They've kind of been middling a little bit, and this is a good opponent for United to keep up the winning streak. All right, next up, Brighton hosting Nottingham Forest. Brighton wins set at 1.8. Forest wins set at 4.9. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Forest coming off a high, beating Liverpool at Anfield. Now going on the road again against Brighton. So is this a letdown spot or can they shock Brighton here?
No, of course not. It's a Brighton win. Nottingham Forest won against Liverpool. So yeah, it's a high, and now against Brighton, it will be the low. So it'll just be a Brighton win.
Yeah, usually that's what you see. So I kind of agree with you, but Brighton played in midweek. Forest did not, so they kind of have the rest advantage here, and I think they will defend. They've been defending pretty well since the start of the season. Only 2 goals allowed, which is pretty good for a team like Nottingham Forest. So I'm not going really heavy on Brighton. I'm still leaning towards Brighton because I think they're a better team, but Forest may give them some trouble here. Like I said, Forest, they're defending pretty well. So not one of my bets for this weekend, but just leaning towards Brighton. All right. Next up, Manchester City hosting Arsenal. This may be the game of the weekend. City wins set at 1.9. Arsenal wins set at 4.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, both teams were involved midweek in the Champions League, and you kind of saw that they had one eye on this game because I don't know if they gave full effort in that game. Of course, City played a little bit better, maybe should have won against Inter, but Arsenal think this game was really playing in their heads. So obviously this game is important to them. But I'm just gonna back City in this spot. Arsenal, they're not going on the road and winning at City. They haven't done that since 2015, and it's not happening this year. City still has the better players, still in a little bit better form. So I'm just backing City here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I am also backing City in this one. I don't know, maybe KDB won't play. Kevin De Bruyne, maybe he won't.
He's questionable. He's questionable.
Yeah, so yeah. maybe that could be a little setback, but yeah, but still, I think City will win this one.
Yeah. And a good play for this game is also both teams to score, set at 1.86. Now, Arsenal, they didn't score against Atalanta 0-0. City also did not score against Inter, also a 0-0 draw. So I really can't see both teams going goalless in back-to-back games. So looking at City winning is 1.92, both teams to score 1.86. I think there's also good value in both teams to score. So that's also a very good play for this game. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Now that wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to La Liga. First game on the schedule, Valladolid hosting Real Sociedad. Valladolid wins set at 4.1. Real Sociedad wins set at 2.16. Line for the total goal set at 1.5. Damn. And listen, man, that's just more than fair because neither of these teams can really score. Valladolid, they scored 1 goal in the last 4 games, and Sociedad also has scored 1 goal in the last 4 games. Listen, man, I still think Sociedad's playing a little bit better. I know they're on the road, so I trust them to score more than Valladolid in this game. But man, hard to trust either of these teams. Like I said, they can't score. Are you doing something here?
I lean towards Sociedad. I'll maybe put them in with a few other teams, but Real Sociedad. I'm leaning towards Real Sociedad to win this one. I think it's also the more experienced team in La Liga. So yeah, I would go for Sociedad.
Yeah, I'm also leaning towards Sociedad. But like I said, Sociedad has scored. Scored 3 goals so far. Valladolid has scored 2 goals. So both teams just struggle to find the net. But Sociedad, at least they're playing well. At least they're creating more chances. So if they get lucky, I don't want to say lucky, but I mean, if they can find the net in this game, I don't know if Valladolid can keep up with them. So the lean is obviously towards Sociedad. They're still the better team. All right, next up, Osasuna hosting Las Palmas. Osasuna wins set at 1.95. Las Palmas wins set at 4.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. I don't have a bet in this game, so I'm really skipping this one. Are you doing something?
Osasuna, yes. Las Palmas is I think one of the worst teams, or maybe not the worst teams in the La Liga this season. So yeah, Osasuna's playing at home. Yeah, so Las Palmas is one of the teams that they should get their points. So
Yeah, they should. I'm not sure they will. And listen, Osasuna, they've been playing better. But listen, man, look at the goal difference. Osasuna scored 6 goals, allowed 10. Las Palmas also scored 6 goals, allowed 10. I know it's only 5 games, so kind of a small sample size, but that just tells me Osasuna might not be that much better than Las Palmas.
yeah, but only because they're playing at home. That's why it's just a lead.
Yeah, I'm skipping this one. All right. Next up, Valencia hosting Girona. Valencia wins set at 2.9. Girona wins set at 2.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Valencia in desperate need of a win. Very desperate need. Girona also lost back-to-back games. Were involved in the Champions League midweek action, going on the road against PSG. So now they go on the road again, while Valencia had all week to prepare. So man, I know, like I said, Valencia, they still haven't won a game, but I think this is a good spot for them. The schedule has not been kind to them. Of course, they open against Barcelona, which is a very good team. They go on the road against Celta, and man, Celta started off the season pretty well. They go on the road against Bilbao, also a good team. Now, then they host Villarreal. Villarreal also in good form, and then they go on the road against Atletico Madrid. So actually, pretty tough teams all around. Girona might be the easiest opponent of all the 5 I previously mentioned. So kind of like Valencia in this spot. Are you doing something?
I was looking more at the over 2.5. That's a possibility. If Valencia wins, I'm pretty sure Girona will at least score one goal. So I would go for the over 2.5, or Valencia win, both teams to score, maybe, but I would go for the over 2.5.
Yeah, and I can't disagree with you. Over 2.5 is a good play. I can see Girona getting a goal in this game, so you might want to play the over 2.5. And I will play the over 2.5, but I will also sprinkle something on Valencia. I think they will get the first win of the season. All right, next up, Real Madrid hosting Espanyol. It's a Real Madrid win set at 1.18. Do we need to discuss this game?
No, we can just we can just skip this one. This would be an easy win for Real.
Yeah, and Real, for some reason, they're not scoring a lot of goals, so I'm not looking at looking to play the over under set at 3.5. Not touching that one. I'm just skipping that game. All right, next up, Getafe hosting Leganes. Getafe win set at 2.08. Leganes win set at 4.9. Line for total goals again 1.5, and also a fair line. These teams are not very high scoring teams. Getafe has scored 2 goals so far. Leganes 3. Still think Getafe is a little bit better. Leganes they've been kept scoreless in their last 2 games. Getafe only 1 goal, but they've played on the road both games. Now they go home. I think they will get their first win of the season. Are you doing something here?
No, I'm gonna skip this one. Get off Leganes. No, it looks too dangerous. If you also look at the odds for the draw, it says a lot. So
Yeah, 2.9 is is actually pretty low for a draw. I would agree with you there. But I think Getafe is still a little bit better. I'm gonna back Getafe, but not a game I'm going heavy on. Just gonna put a little sum on Getafe.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Athletic Bilbao hosting Celta Vigo. Bilbao wins set at 1.71. Celta Vigo wins set at 5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, in this game, I really like the over 2.5 goals. Actually, one of my favorite bets for the weekend. This over 2.5 goals in the game. Celta, they've scored 13 goals so far in La Liga. They've allowed 10, so they score, but they also allow a lot. Bilbao scored 8, allowed 6. And Celta has scored at least twice in every game. So this is a kind of an easy over 2.5 goals for me. Are you doing something?
Over 2.5, like you said, but also Athletic Bilbao for a win. I would go for Athletic Bilbao for a win, but over 2.5, like you said, is also interesting, and it's a safer choice.
Yeah. All right. We agree there. Next up, Villarreal hosting Barcelona. Villarreal wins set at 4. Barcelona wins set at 1.85. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Barcelona obviously started the season very well. They lost against Monaco in the Champions League, but they received an early red card, so kind of unfortunate for them. And playing almost 90 minutes with 10 men, their legs may be heavy here, so I'm not gonna back Barcelona in this spot. And Villarreal also, they haven't lost the game yet. They've been playing very well. So actually, this is one of my upsets of the week. I'm gonna back Villarreal for a win. Are you doing something?
Yeah, Villarreal is yeah, it's one of the teams this weekend that can actually, beat one of the bigger teams in the league. So yeah, I'm also backing Villarreal here, and only because they're playing at home, and also Barcelona played during the week, like you said, with 10 men. Yeah, so it's gonna be a difficult one this weekend.
Yeah, and if you look at the players absent for Barcelona, of course, I think their biggest miss will be Dani Olmo. And with Dani Olmo out, I don't really trust their midfield. Javi, of course, also out. De Jong out. Ferran Torres out. Araujo out. Christensen out. So it's kind of getting a bit late for them this early.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. And now, next up, Rayo Vallecano hosting Atletico Madrid. Rayo wins set at 5. Atletico Madrid wins set at 1.84. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, obviously, Atletico Madrid is the better team here, but the odds kind of stink at 1.84, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, a lot, but I'm going with Atletico Madrid in this one. Don't trust the odds, but yeah, who knows? I'm uh, I'm just going for Atletico Madrid here.
Yeah, they're the better team. They should win this game. Rayo, I know they won the last game against Osasuna, but listen, man, Osasuna is not great. And before that, they lost against Espanyol. And I know that one was on the road, but Espanyol are not a great team. When Espanyol played Atletico Madrid, they got yeah, actually they got outplayed. I know the game ended in a draw, but Atletico Madrid really deserved to win that game. And I know Atletico Madrid is on the road right now, but still, they're a better team. I'm also gonna back them, but the odds kind of stink. So also a game I'm not going heavy on.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Real Betis hosting Mallorca. Betis wins set at 1.94. Mallorca wins set at 4.75. Line for total goals 1.5. And listen, man, line for total goals 1.5. Monday game, not touching this one. Are you doing
No,
something?
no, I'm also gonna skip this one. Especially, I also think it will be a draw here. So yeah.
All right. Now that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to Serie A. First game on the schedule, and the first game I'm skipping that one immediately. Venezia hosting Genoa. Not doing anything there. Are you doing something?
Yeah, actually, yeah, they surprised me last weekend. I really thought Roma could win this one, but they didn't. I think that says a lot about Roma this season. But like you said, this one is one to skip.
Yeah, we agreed there. Next up, now this one I won't be skipping. Actually, one of my favorite bets for the weekend, Juventus hosting Napoli. Juventus wins set at 2.28. Napoli wins set at 3.55. Line for total goal set at 2.5. And I'm just taking Juventus for a win over 2-1. The odds are just too good to pass up, man. Juventus far better than Napoli. Napoli, they've been really lucky in a lot of these games in this season. So listen, man, going on the road against Juventus, and even though Juventus played in midweek, I don't care. I'm taking Juventus for a win here. Are you doing something?
Hmm, I'm not. I'm leaning more towards Napoli.
No, you're crazy.
Yes, I know. I hear that a lot, but I'm leaning towards Napoli here. I think this is gonna be one of the surprises this weekend. I'm uh, I'm leaning towards Napoli to win this one, and I actually think that maybe even one of my best bets this weekend.
Oh, going straight against me. Listen, man, if you're backing Napoli, take the over 2.5 because they're not keeping Juventus scoreless. That's a guarantee. But listen, man, Juventus winning also very close to a guarantee. I have to go against you in this one. I'm taking Juventus for the win. Napoli's not winning this game. Sorry. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll definitely discuss this one.
All right. Next up, Lecce hosting Parma. Lecce wins set at 2.23. Parma wins set at 3.35. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Lecce favored in this game. I don't really understand why. Lecce has scored one goal in the last 4 games, and obviously only 4 games have been played. So one goal for the season, while Parma has scored 6 goals. I know they've allowed 7, so defense kind of leaky, but Lecce has also allowed 6 goals, so Lecce is not that much better. And Parma, they gave Napoli some trouble. Actually, they should have won that game. Received a red card, so kind of unfortunate. They won against AC Milan, and last weekend also against Udinese. It was a draw. They received a red card, then lost after Udinese scored a third goal. So I think Parma's been playing really well. So I'm not trusting Lecce to win this game. I'm leaning towards Parma. I think I will play a double chance for Parma. I know Parma will score in this game. I'm not sure Lecce will, and not sure Lecce will keep up. So Parma will at least get a draw. Are you doing something?
Yeah, but these two teams, they have the same amount of points. So yeah, I would just go for the home team in this case. Lecce, yeah, I don't trust Parma either, but only because Lecce is playing at home. I would lean more towards Lecce.
I don't care that Lecce is playing at home. They're awful. Like I said, I'm backing Parma. I'm playing a double chance. Not sure Parma wins this game, but they'll get a draw at least. So that's my play for this game. Double chance for Parma. All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Lazio. Fiorentina wins set at 2.38. Lazio wins set at 3.15. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. Now, Fiorentina, also a team in desperate need of a win. Last week came very close against Atalanta, but in the end they had to, they suffered a loss. So, are they winning their first game of the season here?
No, I don't think so. I'm actually, I'm also gonna skip this one. This game, yeah, it feels like a draw. So this one, I'm skipping this one also.
I kind of agree with you, and line's a bit fishy. Lazio, they've been a little bit better, but they're on the road. Fiorentina at home. Maybe looking at the over 2.5.
Maybe, but you know, it's still the Serie A. You know, these teams usually don't score a lot of goals when they play against each other. So I'm gonna skip this one.
Yeah, in the last 3 meetings, only one game has seen over 2.5 goals. And if you look at the last, actually, the last 7 meetings, only twice both teams have scored. So, kind of agree with you, and think I also might skip this one. All right, next up, Monza hosting Bologna. Monza wins set at 3.2. Bologna wins set at 2.45. Line for total goals set at 2.5. This is also a game I will be skipping. I think these two teams are very close to each other. Bologna might be a little bit better, but we're involved in midweek action, and now they go on the road. So I don't trust in middling teams that play Champions League and then go on the road the next weekend. Um, Usually, especially when they don't have a lot of depth. So I'm not playing this game. Are you doing something?
Both these teams haven't won in the last 5 games they played. And like you said, Bologna, they played during the week. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards Monza, but Bologna is very disappointing this season. You know, last season they had very good run the second half of the season. Yeah, and you know, it looks like they can't get it right this season. So
Yeah, different coach.
yeah, that can be the problem also. But the team hasn't changed a lot. You know,
Yeah, but coaching can really matter sometimes, man. So that could be the difference here.
yeah,
All
but
right,
it's a lean toward Monza actually.
all right. Next up, Roma hosting Udinese. Roma wins set at 1.65. Udinese wins set at 5.4. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, for some reason, Udinese undefeated and 3 straight wins. 2 impressive ones, one over Lazio and last weekend over Parma. Roma, of course, still in search of their first win. Now, last week, we kind of asked the question, is De Rossi's seat getting hot? So it should be hot now. Are they getting their first win?
I think they're getting their first win, but I'm leaning more towards the over 2.5. They'll get their first win, but it will be a difficult one. So I'm going for the over 2.5 here at 1.97.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it 1.96. And I'm riding with you on that one. Over 2.5 goals will be my play for this game. I think they will have a tough time here, but I do think they will get their first win and also a little bit more value in taking the over 2.5 goals. So over 2.5 goals. I agree with you. That's my play for this game. Next up, Inter hosting AC Milan. Inter wins set at 1.67. AC Milan will win set at 5.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I just have to take Inter in this spot. I don't know what's happening with the AC Milan at the moment. Very, very bad form. Very disappointing. Inter, far better players, far better team. Now, I would say they're playing at home, but okay, not really. Yeah, they're playing at home, but AC Milan is really on the road. Still, Inter's the better team. Give me Inter for a win. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, I agree. I would also go for Inter win. Yeah, at 1.67. Yeah, it's okay, you could say, but I'm going for Inter also.
Yeah, all right. Enough said about that game. Next up, Atalanta hosting Como. Atalanta wins set at 1.45. Como wins set at 7.5. Line for the goal set at 2.5. This man, the over 2.5 is just at 1.57. Atalanta wins set at 1.45. So low odds and a Monday game. So we're skipping this one, right?
Yeah, yes, it's a skip.
All right. Now that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to Eredivisie. First game, Utrecht hosting Willem II. Utrecht wins set at 1.58. Willem II wins set at 6.25. Line for total goal set at 2.5. What are you doing here?
I'm Utrecht at home against Willem II. Utrecht, yeah, of course they won the last two games, but against Breda and Twente was surprising and very impressive also. Willem II draw, loss, and then they won. So I would uh, I would say that they'll lose this one on the road against Utrecht. Utrecht is a very difficult team to play against and also score against, and Willem II doesn't have the players to really cause any trouble. So
Yeah, I agree with you there. And the two games they won, one against Go Ahead Eagles and Go Ahead Eagles, you never know which team you're getting in from week to week. And the other one was against RKC, who might be the worst team in the Eredivisie at the moment. And both games they won, they were at home. Now they go on the road, and I couldn't agree with you more. Utrecht will win this game, and also Utrecht, they haven't played a game since September 1st, so a lot of rest, maybe some rust. I'm going with rest. Utrecht will win this game. Give me Utrecht. All
yeah.
right. Next up, RKC hosting Sparta. RKC wins set at 3.65. Sparta wins set at 2.02. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I just touched on it. RKC might be the worst team in the league.
They are. That might be. Yeah, they are.
So obviously you have to take Sparta here, right?
Yeah. Yes. And Sparta, they losing at home against Go Ahead Eagles last week. I think that was very very disappointing, of course. And against RKC, they know the 3 points. These are the 3 points that they must get this weekend. So I'm definitely going for a Sparta win.
Yeah, RKC just awful, man. Like 2 goals scored, 15 goals allowed. Um, they're just uh, they're just in really bad shape.
Yeah, Henk
All right.
Frits is in trouble then.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, next up, Go Ahead Eagles hosting Ajax. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 4.4. Ajax win set at 1.82. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, listen, I know Ajax isn't Ajax from 2, 3 years ago, but this is kind of disrespectful towards Ajax. 1.82, almost 2-1. Give me Ajax, one of my best bets for the weekend. This man, Go Ahead Eagles. I know they won against Sparta last week, but this man, if you watch the game, they were very fortunate. Sparta almost pulled off a draw, kind of unlucky. The other game, Go Ahead Eagles won, was against RKC, and we just said it multiple times. They're the worst team in the league. So no way Go Ahead Eagles is winning against Ajax. Give me Ajax one of my best bets. Are you doing something?
Oh, Ajax. Yes, also going for Ajax. Go ahead, Eagles, of course, won a game last season against Ajax. I think they won. Oh no! Oh no! It was a draw, right?
Yeah, it was a draw, 1-1.
Yeah, draw. No, so no. This weekend I'm going for Ajax also.
Yeah, I'm going very heavy on Ajax. 1.82. No, just too good. All right, next up, NEC hosting Heracles. NEC wins set at 1.65. Heracles wins set at 5.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Heracles, another team that's in really bad shape, but man, NEC not playing that well. I don't have a bet in this game. Do you have one?
No, I also don't have a bet. This is one of the few games in the Eredivisie that I'll skip this weekend.
All right. Next up, Heerenveen hosting Groningen. Heerenveen wins set at 2.5. Groningen wins set at 2.7. So good odds for both teams. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now listen, man, Heerenveen kind of in bad shape. Just
Yeah,
they just
kind of.
got smashed by Alkmaar last week, 9-1. Damn. And then they went on the road
Yeah.
again against FC Twente, lost 2-0. So confidence will be low here, right?
Yeah, confidence will be low, but I believe that they will bounce back against Groningen. Groningen, 3 draws the last 3 games. So away, Heerenveen, I think it's a bad time to visit Heerenveen for a team like Groningen. Um, I'm going for a Heerenveen win this weekend. It has to stop somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure it will. I just have a slight lean towards Heerenveen because even you get embarrassed like that. And I know the second game wasn't that much of an embarrassing, but still 11 goals over 2 games. Now you go back home, so maybe intense in a couple of days of practice. They wanna bounce back in this game. So kind of agree with a lot of what you said. But I have just a soft lean towards Heerenveen. Groningen. You already touched on it. 3 straight draws. Not really been playing well, and even picked up a draw against Almere City on the road last time they were on the road. So that also kind of speaks to their road form. Slightly towards Heerenveen for me. All right. Next up, Almere City hosting Twente. Almere City wins set at 5.8. Twente wins set at 1.56. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I already said it a couple times. You predicted Almere City to be the worst team in the Eredivisie this year. Little did you know RKC existed, but Almere City is still one of the worst teams. So Twente should win this game, right?
Yeah, Twente. I would definitely go for Twente win. Twente, of course, I think it was the first win of the season because they had a
Yeah,
draw.
against
Two losses.
Heerenveen. Yeah, was the
Yeah,
first win.
also the first win and
No, sorry. They won against NEC. So this was their second win.
yeah, second win. Yes, right. Yeah, so this will be the third then against Almere. Yeah.
Yeah, they should win this game, and no way Almere City is winning this game. Almere City should be happy, and they already have 2 points. All right. Next up, Feyenoord hosting Breda. Feyenoord wins set at 1.16. Breda wins set at 21. Ooh.
Yeah.
Not touching this game. Are you doing something?
No, a little bit too low, everything. So over 3.5, no, maybe not yet. So no, I'm gonna sit it on
Over three.
one against Fortuna last week. So.
Over 3.5, maybe the only thing I'm looking at in this game. And maybe I'm not even expecting help from Breda because Feyenoord got embarrassed by Leverkusen. So maybe take out their frustration here against Breda. But over 3.5, still a little bit high for me. So not one of my best bets. But and obviously Feyenoord winning 1.16, too low.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah. Next one. not that much higher. PSV visiting Fortuna. PSV wins set at 1.23. So line from total goals also 3.5. PSV should win this game. Also lost to Juventus, kind of an embarrassing fashion, and that just shows you the levels, Eredivisie and Serie A, the other leagues. So they should bounce back here, right?
Yeah, they should bounce back against Fortuna, but like you said, the Eredivisie, uh, even the even the League One is too strong for them. So
Yeah. All right. Now that wraps up the Eredivisie. Let's get to the Bundesliga. Last but not least, first game on the schedule: Bochum hosting Holstein Kiel. Bochum wins set at 1.94. Holstein Kiel wins set at 3.9. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. Now the over 2.5 is kind of the only thing I'm looking at in this game. Both of these teams are not great. 0 points for both teams. Kiel has allowed 11 goals, Bochum 5. So I can see the over 2.5 goals hitting in this game, but kind of both teams also kind of have trouble scoring. Bochum has scored only 1 goal so far. So um, that's the only thing I'm looking at, but not really a play for me. Are you doing something?
yeah, I'm also looking at Bochum doing this one. Yeah, Holstein Kiel. Yeah, if Bochum wants to get points this season, this is their chance. So they're playing at home against Kiel. Yeah, I would lean towards Bochum.
All right. Next up, Union Berlin hosting Hoffenheim. Union Berlin wins set at 1.97. Hoffenheim wins set at 3.95. Line for the total goals set at 2.5. Also don't have a play in this game. I think Union is favored a little bit too much, but Hoffenheim going on the road, don't really trust them. I'm looking a little bit more at the under 2.5 goals in this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, Union. Yeah, you still have to go for Union, not only because they're playing at home, but also last season they lost against Hoffenheim, but then also won. So I don't know. Maybe now they'll win again. And only because they're playing at home. So
Yeah, but last year they lost the home game, then they won the road game. And if you look at last year, both games under 2.5 goals, and kind of the same trend in this season. They played 1-1 against Mainz, 1-0 against St. Pauli, then 0-0 against Leipzig. So, not really expecting too many goals in this game. So, kind of a stay away from me. But if I'm looking at something, it's the under 2.5 goals. All right. Next up, Werder Bremen hosting Bayern Munich. Bremen wins set at 8. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.35. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Bayern, they kind of look like the old Bayern again. So they should win this game, right?
yeah, and also impressive what they did in the Champions League, of course. And
Yeah, 9 goals.
yeah,
And of course, they scored 6 goals against Kiel, so 17 goals last 2 games.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot. No, but it should be a Bayern win. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are you looking at the over 3.5 goals? Not sure. Then I think it's a little bit rich for me. But Bayern could, like we see, Bayern could easily score 4 goals and by themselves. So,
Yeah.
over 3.5 could hit. I'm just playing Bayern for a win. Yeah, I'm playing Bayern for a win, and I will parlay that with Leipzig. We'll touch on that on that game in a little bit. So, I'm
Yeah.
parlaying Bayern Munich with Leipzig.
Yeah, but no, over 3.5 for me. They can't keep scoring so many goals, and so this will be just maybe a 0-2 win or something.
All right. Next up, Heidenheim hosting Freiburg. Heidenheim wins set at 2.75. Freiburg wins set at 2.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. This is another game where I like the over 2.5 goals. Now, Heidenheim, They've scored 8 goals so far. Freiburg also scored 5 goals. So I think Heidenheim will score in this game. Not sure they'll win. I'm definitely sure and Freiburg will also score in this game. Heidenheim lost the last game against Dortmund. 6 goals were scored in that game. So I think this will be a very high scoring game. Give me the over 2.5 goals. Or are you doing something?
No, none of these two teams, I think, have they don't have enough confidence at the moment. I think so. I'm gonna skip this one. I think honestly, I think it will just be a draw. Over 2.5. I don't think so. So both teams will start very careful. I think don't want to concede any goals. So no, I'm gonna skip this one. I think it will be a draw.
Yeah, draw, very possible. I still like over 2.5 goals. All right. Next up, Eintracht Frankfurt hosting Mönchengladbach. Frankfurt wins set at 1.77. Gladbach wins set at 4.25. Line for total goals set at 3.5. No, they're expecting goals in this game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think the over 2.5. Yeah, I agree. For this game, I think I would just go for the over 3.5.
Frankfurt back-to-back wins. Gladbach, they lost the last game 3-1 against Stuttgart. I can see Gladbach scoring in this game, maybe even twice. And I think Frankfurt will keep up with them. So I agree with you, the over 3.5 goals. That's the play in this game. Although they haven't scored a lot since the start of the season of this season. Both teams have scored just 5 goals. But if you look at the history between these two teams, the last 7 meetings, 6 of them, both teams have scored, and a lot of them you see over 2.5, at least over 2.5 goals, some even over 3.5. So if you look at the history between these two teams, you can expect goals in this game. So I agree with you, over 3.5 goals. That's the play here. All right, next up, Bayer Leverkusen hosting Wolfsburg. Leverkusen wins set at 1.29. Wolfsburg wins set at 10.5. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Don't like the over 3.5 goals here. But Leverkusen took out more of their frustration against Feyenoord in the Champions League for nothing. Now they go back home with a lot of confidence. So I think Leverkusen will win this game, and obviously the odds kind of speaks for themselves. And I don't think Leverkusen is losing a home game against Wolfsburg. Or are you doing something here?
No, I don't think so. Also, at home, by Leverkusen, I still think that they will also, together with the Bayern, the best teams in the Bundesliga this season. So I'm also going for a Leverkusen win.
All right. Next up, Stuttgart hosting Borussia Dortmund. Stuttgart wins set at 2.35. Dortmund wins set at 2.85. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, this is another game where I can see a lot of goals being scored. Both teams were on the road in the Champions League. I still think Dortmund has the better squad, but they're on the road here. And now they've stolen Stuttgart's best player, Guirassy. But I still think Stuttgart they can cause trouble here. They can still score goals, as we saw in the last 2 Bundesliga games. They scored 6 goals total, 3 goals in each game, and I think they will score here again. So I'm looking at those Stuttgart over 1.5 goals, maybe even also Dortmund over 1.5 goals. Are you doing something?
Stuttgart, of course, lost their game against Real. Dortmund a little bit more lucky playing against Club Brugge. So yeah, but this weekend I think because Stuttgart lost, I think they will want to bounce back uh, at home against Dortmund. So I'm going for a Stuttgart win.
Yeah, and I think they will score at least 2 goals. So I'm playing Stuttgart over 1.5 goals, but I'm also leaning towards Stuttgart for a win. I kind of agree with everything you said. All right, let's get to the next game. St. Pauli hosting Leipzig. St. Pauli wins set at 5. Leipzig wins set at 1.68. Line front of the goal set at 2.5. And listen, I'm gonna back Leipzig here, and I already told you I'm parlaying by Munich with Leipzig. Leipzig will win this game. St. Pauli, they've scored 1 goal over the last 3 games, and Leipzig now back-to-back games without a win. Kind of unfortunate against Union, and now then they lost against Athletic Madrid, a good team, and they were on the road. So now they go against St. Pauli. I'm backing Leipzig in this spot. Are you doing something?
Yeah, also Leipzig win, and the odds are decent. So yeah, I'm also going for Leipzig win.
Yeah, and St. Pauli, they've scored 1 goal so far, 0 points, of course. So this should be a game Leipzig wins. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga, and that wraps up our picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. Now, quick recap for our best bets. I have West Ham for a win. I have Athletic Bilbao, Celta Vigo over 2.5 goals. Juventus for a win. Inter for a win. Ajax for a win. Leipzig for a win. And Bayern Munich for a win. What do you have?
Yeah, I have West Ham, of course, for a win. Leicester United. I have Valencia over 2.5. Villarreal for a win. Napoli, of course. and Sparta and Stuttgart.
The only one I don't like is Napoli, but the other ones kind of agree with you. Alright, now that wraps up our picks and leans for this weekend. And like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, everybody.